The COVID-19 pandemic left Eduardo Lida without work. The Mexico City market where he sells his fruit and vegetables has closed indefinitely, but now he's been granted access to set up his stall inside a gated community.
My sales have dropped, my earnings have dropped. There are less people who come out to buy, so we had to find a way to bring our produce to the people in their homes. If I hadn't, I would have died of hunger. That's why we sought new options.
Like an estimated 60% of his fellow Mexicans, he's part of the country's informal economy, meaning his cash-only business doesn't pay taxes or social security, and he lives on the profits he makes day to day. Mexico's finance ministry has launched a $1 billion program to hand out $1,000 loans to businesses like Eduardo's, but in reality, he believes Mexican authorities became more of a threat to his livelihood.
We applied for an emergency loan for the business, but nothing arrived. There's money for certain economic sectors, but not for the people who really need it. I tried to set up my stand in other places, but the local police arrived and confiscated my merchandise. Like you see here, they put it in their trucks and they left me with nothing.
Mexico's economy has been devastated by the pandemic. Some 500,000 businesses across the country are in imminent danger of closing permanently, and more than 1 million jobs, formal and informal, have been lost. Julia Diaz is a member of the local committee where Eduardo now sells his produce.
Many people have lost their jobs. Their companies told them they had to take time off, that they weren't going to be paid, and that they would have to find a way to survive. That situation hasn't changed, and we don't know when it will. The future is very uncertain.
Indeed, some financial analysts predict Mexico's gross domestic product will shrink by as much as 12% during 2020. Antonio Mendoza sees bumpy times ahead.
Once hit by an economic crash of this nature, you have to give the economy the means to restart quickly, get financial aid to the worst affected, and give them the fiscal breathing room they need. But Mexico, unfortunately, is one of the economies which has seen the least financial aid, and so the economic crisis the country now faces will now be worse than others, and its recovery far slower.
Economic uncertainty in a country that can least afford it. Alasdair Baverstock for CGTN, Mexico City.